Very good.
I'm fine.
Happy to hear that. Very nice. Good. All right. So to begin, can one of you tell me what was the article about this week?
This is space human. I don't
Uh-huh.
remember word, but like this is about NASA.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, teacher, this about astronauts and some space.
Yeah. And what was the article specifically about? Why were they talking about space? What was happening at NASA?
NASA choose the people to go space.
Yeah. So people were applying to be part of NASA for future space trips.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you remember how many applicants did they have? How many people applied for the job? How many applicants did they have?
Uh, I I can't remember. Sorry.
No, that's all right, Sonia. Do you remember how many applicants they had?
What is African?
The people who applied for the jobs, how many people applied for the astronaut position?
12.
In the end, they selected 12, but how many people first applied? What out of the first number, they picked 12 people, but how many people in total first applied? It started with 12 as well, but it was a bigger number.
10,000.
Close. 12,000. So 12,000 people applied for the job. There was 12,000 applicants, and in the end, they picked 12 candidates for to be astronauts. So yeah, so very neat, very interesting experience for them. If you two had the opportunity, would you apply to become an astronaut?
Teacher, I can't hear voice well, so can you speak one more time, please?
Yes. If you had the opportunity, would you apply to become an astronaut? Yeah, would you apply to become an astronaut? Would you want to be an astronaut?
Yes, I want.
Yes, you would. What about you, Sungyoung Won?
Yes, I want.
You would as
Uh,
well?
yes.
Yeah. I think it would be very interesting. I think I might apply as well. Um, do either of you know, is there a space agency in Korea?
I don't know.
No, you're
So
not sure?
yeah, I think Korea has um space yeah like NASA, but that's so small or not big like NASA.
Mhm. Yeah. So interesting enough, you guys do have a place like NASA, and it's called Korea Aerospace Research Institute, KARI or KARI. I'm not sure what the exact pronunciation is, for that, but yes, it's similar to NASA, and they're responsible for aeronautics and space in space agency in Korea. So pretty interesting. As we continued into the article, they talked about some of the training and some of the requirements that one must have to be a candidate to be an astronaut. What were some of the requirements that you needed to have to become an astronaut?
But they are so smart, and they must body is good.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what level of degree you must have to be an astronaut?
They swim in the big pool.
Repeat that. Yeah, did they say that in the paper? Was that your question?
What is
In the article, they talk about a degree. What level of degree do you have to be an astronaut? Do either of you remember? Was it a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate degree?
no?
No. So in the article, that you have to have a master's degree in STEM. So STEM being science, technology, engineering, or math. And you also have to have experience either flying jets or airplanes or other work-related experience to aviation. So yeah. Do you, either of you, Sung-Hung too, do you remember what are the physical requirements to be an astronaut? What do you think? If you can't remember, what is your guess? What do you think they would require to be an astronaut with physical health? What kind of health must have?
What does mean require?
Require is it is a must. So in order to be a candidate, you must have this. So, for example, required to drive a car in Korea, you must be 17 years old. Yes, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a must. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think scientists and doctors require go to space
Mm-hmm.
when other people goes to space.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the requirement is for physical health? What is important to have to be an astronaut? The article mentions two things. Do either of you have the article in front of you? Do either of you have the article in front of you?
No.
No. Can you see the article, Sung-Hyun Won?
Yes.
Yes. What, after they talk about the STEM and the master's degree, they talk about two health conditions that you must have in order to be an astronaut. Do you remember what the two requirements are?
Teacher, can you speak one more time?
Yes. What are the 2 health requirements to be an astronaut? The article mentions 2 health requirements.
I don't know the question.
Okay. So to be a candidate, 2 of the health requirements is that you have to have very near perfect eyesight. So people must be able to see very well, and they have to be in good physical shape, meaning that they take good care of their health, probably are strong, do exercises, because working as an astronaut, you use your eyesight a lot, and you also use a lot of your own physical capacity as you move around. So those are 2 of the health requirements that they have. Let's see. How many interviews do the astronauts go through? Do you remember how many interviews they have to go through?
Uh, 12.
They go through 3 interviews. So they pick 12 people, but then the 12 candidates have information about them to see how they perform in activities as well. So it's a long process for some of these candidates. And once they are chosen, do you remember how long is their training program?
6 months.
2 years. So it's a long program, 2 years. And they have to learn things like spacewalk skills, robotic skills, and how the systems of the International Space Station work as well. Oh, was that someone's phone?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, just making sure. Okay, very good.
Okay.
Very nice. When is the next goal to send people back to the moon? Do either of you remember what year they would like to send people back to the moon?
Sir, can you speak one more time?
Mm-hmm. What year do they want to send people back to the moon? The article mentions it by blank, they would like to send a team back to the moon.
2021.
2024, so close, 2024. So in 4 more years, we will be reading the news or maybe watching TV about the next space exploration trip back to the moon. So that will be something for us to look forward to. Was there any questions about the article? Any questions that you guys had?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
What is mean? Wait.
Can you repeat your question again?
What is mean? International Space Station.
So the International Space Station is the system that communicates with Earth and with oh gosh, how to explain it? It's
Teacher?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can I explain in Korea?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
그러니까 국제우주정거장.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a very important thing, and it communicates with Earth about what's going on in space and what orbits around Earth as well. But it even, I think, is responsible for things like laboratory things, testing certain maybe materials, observation. It's a big complicated system. So it's very important that they learn how to work with that system. So yeah, good question. Any other questions?
No, but read the sentence is very hard.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Yeah, this article was hard.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that feedback. Okay, we will move on to some of our closing conversational questions, okay? So my first question for Sunghang 2, do you believe there is life on other planets? Do you believe there is life on other planets?
Yes.
Yeah? Tell me, why do you think that?
Because in Mars,
Mm-hmm.
in Mars there some ice, and many scientists found find a clue of that planet's life thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we know in order to survive, water is essential, especially for human beings. Yeah, very good. Sangkang, 1, what do you think is the most important thing to invest in space exploration and people on Earth?
I think we we can need many airs and water, and we need air and water.
Mhm. But listen to the question again. Which do you think is more important in spending money on studying space exploration or spending money on helping people on Earth?
Studying space.
How come? Why?
Because if people live in another planet, we can study that planet, and we must study space to how space is dangerous, so we can study how can we do for dangerous.
Mhm. Very good. And what do you think, Sung Hung, too? Do you agree? Do you think it's more important to study space exploration, or do you think we should invest our money on planet Earth?
You should learn to space because
Okay.
space is too big. So and there are many lots of mysteries. So we need found we need we need know about the space more and yes. So
Okay. Very nice. And we'll start with you on this question, Sunghung, too. If we were to send you to space, what would you bring with you to space? What would you like to bring with you?
when I go to space, I bring
What would you like to bring?
um my
You
family.
could even think it could be essentials or it could be fun things. Like maybe you'd want to bring your, I don't know if by touching that on accident, if I turned it off. I'm not sure. But maybe, for example, maybe you would want to bring your ear pods, or maybe you would want to bring pictures of family or your favorite snacks. What would you like to bring with you to space?
I want bring my phone books.
Your phone and books?
My books.
Oh, your books. Oh, yes, that would be good. You'd probably have a lot of time to read as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Sunghung, what would you bring with you to space?
I want to bring my family and friends picture because I don't talk with my family and friend in space, so I want bring friends and families pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, to have some memories of your family and your friends with your pictures. I think that's a great idea. Very nice. Okay, we'll start with you, Sunghung. Do you believe in UFOs? In America, there is a lot of people who have said that they've seen UFOs or what they think are aliens or extra or strange things like that. Do you believe in that? Or in Korea, is there such a thing as people talking about UFOs?
I believe UFO and in Seoul, maybe in 2008 years, in Seoul, in Korea capital city, people see UFO. So I believe UFO. Yes, I believe UFO.
Okay. Yeah, so there was some sort of record or people or witnessed something strange like that happening. So you believe that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, Sunghung, too, different question for you. If you had the opportunity to design the space suit, the astronaut space suit, what would you do differently about the space suit? How would you design it?
I will I will their little pocket to take some water or like that, and
Mhm. Would you pick different colors or a design on it, or would you maybe put shiny sparkles or spiky things, or do anything fun and creative?
there I will make that have a light.
Mhm.
And now this now space suit that's so perfect, so I can design something.
Mhm. Yeah. And then Sung-Hung 1, what is one of your favorite science fiction movies?
Uh, uh, I don't remember. Ma, I saw science fiction.
Mhm.
Because I like comic and fighting, so I don't see so any science fiction movie.
Yeah, that's okay. What about you, Sung-Hung 2? What is one of your favorite science fiction movies? Or maybe you are similar to Sung-Hung 1 and don't watch those types of movies. That's okay too.
I think that's a science movie, but that's very little. Then Back to the Future. That's science movie.
Yeah, I would consider the movie. Yeah,
My
it's
favorite
a good
science
movie.
movie
Hmm.
is Back to the Future, or when Back to the Future is student science movie, then I will choose Gravity.
Yeah, that's a beautiful movie. That
Yes.
was really popular in the US, Gravity. And there also was, I'm not sure if you guys heard, Interstellar, about that movie. It
Yeah,
came out a
that's
few years
famous.
ago.
That's famous
Yeah,
in
that
Korea too.
very nice. Yeah, very good. And then a couple of years ago as well, there was one called The Arrival. That was another popular a science fiction movie. So yeah, very good. All right. Well, I know that it's time for us today. You both did very well. Any last questions before we end class?
No?
No?
No,
Okay. Well, we will see each other next week, Angyang, and I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday.
Okay.
okay.
All right. Well, I will see you guys